Hey everybody, this is Bonnie. I want to thank you guys once again for tuning in, guys. Today, I got a video topic, and the name of this video is going to be called "When Will a Malignant Narcissist Stop Trying to Destroy Me?" Now, I can understand why this question, has been asked, because we all know malignant narcissists are on the further end of the spectrum, and they have a lot of very disturbing things going on with them as far as the characteristics of their personality traits. And you know if you're saying that they're trying to destroy you, they are definitely using you for negative fuel. And it's a lot of issues that they have. A lot of them on that end of the spectrum have the antisocial personality disorders and the OCD and schizoid, all those personality problems. And they have a lot of misdirected anger at their victims. And in a lot of cases, their victims are, some of the most empathetic, compassionate, kindest people. And they really use their time and their energy to destroy that person financially, emotionally, just in every way, legally. So we're going to talk about, when, in my opinion, when will they stop? When will they stop this, the chaos and everything? And before I jump into that, guys, if you haven't done so, turn on your notifications, guys. I know YouTube is always changing and it's different things going on. I'm not sure if you all get the notifications when I do make these videos, but I would like for y'all to receive them, and just make sure it's the bell and by the top of this channel. Just make sure it's on so y'all will get notified when I do make videos like this. So moving on back to the question, let's talk about the malignant narcissist, of what everybody knows about them, because I always make these videos because I always said that the individual that I unfortunately have to deal with, that I share a child with, I believe them to be a malignant narcissist. Of course, they're undiagnosed, because from what we all know is that a lot of them don't get help for their for their issues. A lot of them have childhood trauma that has created them to be emotionally, have all these emotional issues, and so abusive. And that's what we all believe in this community, where these narcissists were formed from childhood issues. And one thing about when you're a child, I can't imagine a little child being abused, because it's kind of hard. What I mean, I couldn't be around a child being abused. That's what I mean, because children are, they're so innocent. I mean, they can't defend themselves. So, and just to know that, the stuff that you read on the news about, the awful things that you read on the news about how the children were tortured, how some of the children didn't make it, of age like we are, just because of abusers and things of that nature, how kids were abused in so many different ways. It's just hard to digest. So I believe that narcissists, especially malignant narcissists, were abused in an extreme way. The extreme type of abuse during their childhood, whether they were infants or ages that they can't remember, to early ages like maybe 5 and 6 and around those stages. So I also have to talk about all of these personalities disorder things going on, about the schizoid and OCD and the ADHD and the depression. I mean, they have so many things going on inside of them. This person is depressed. That's why they often turn to drugs and stuff to help. That's what they use to mask that feeling of emptiness, of rejection, of all of those things that they feel. They use drugs to cope in an unhealthy way. The alcohol and all those other things. So these individuals are depressed, and they're they check in and out of reality. Like, it's really strange, but they really blame their victims in a way for everything. Like the relationship, when it went wrong, when it failed, they pick a person, a source, and this is the source that they use for the negative fuel, and they will use this for years and years and years. They will punish the person repeatedly over and over again, and it's usually one of the most kindest, sweetheartest people. And the narcissist is so vicious. They will lie on this person, physically abuse this person. They're into stalking, just obsessed, really obsessed with these individuals. And it's so sad because they nobody deserves to go through that. Honestly, it's the most awfulest thing to go through. A person can't live in peace because someone is out there trying to physically, destroy them in any way that they can. That's why they I heard things about they try to get you arrested and from trying to take your children away from you. I mean, they are just trying to punish you, and they set up situations for you to fall into. They set traps over and over and over again because you have to be the bad person. It's like they're trying to push into you what they are. It's really strange. Like they set up lies. They'll say, well, you know what? I know she had issues as a child. She was abused as a child. A lot of survivors have, been abused just like the narcissist as a child. The only difference is that we didn't turn around misdirecting our anger and trying to hurt other people like they did. So they'll sit there and say you have issues and you're trying to hurt them by trying to keep their kids away from them when you may be trying to protect your children from them. And they'll sit there and say that and get people to look at you as the bad person and them as the good person, since they're so charming and they have identity problems. Like they really don't want to face who they are and the things that they are doing to people because they haven't resolved whatever they've done and the things that happened to them in their childhood. They just ignored them and pushed them deep down inside somewhere, and they really didn't heal from them. So they go through life using people because they feel like they were used in some type of way. They feel like people are going to use them, so why not just use people instead of them using me? And everybody is like this when everybody is not like that, So they go through using people and having no empathy for the hardworking people who are honest, who are healthy, who are good parents, good mothers, good fathers. They go through trying to hurt you and knock you down into a place where they are at emotionally or physically. If you're doing better than the malignant narcissist in life, as far as your career and everything, they try to get you to lose all of those things because they want you to be down where they are at. They're very selfish and jealous. They really have a hard time understanding how somebody can make all these good things happen for them in their lives, and they didn't have that happen to them. They feel entitled. That's where that sense of entitlement is coming from, because of what happened to them in their childhood and the way they feel like they couldn't progress in life. So they go through being jealous, being envious of you for progressing and moving forward. And they kind of feel like this is not fair. This is not fair that, I know she moved on and the relationship didn't work out, but it's her fault. Maybe if she would have listened to what I was trying to tell her, then I wouldn't have had to put my hands on her. It's projection. It's not fair that she has this good job and making this money. It's not fair that, she has this house now, or, she's married. It doesn't matter. I have to punish her. I have to punish her because, if the relationship, she would have did what I would have told her to do and did things my way, then it would have worked out. They don't want to take accountability for their actions. It's very selfish thinking. They're not going to let people know that this is the way they think and that they feel. So they set up situations for you to fall into. So people can see you as the bad person. That's that covert versus the overt side of them, the malignant narcissist. The covert side is the person that is, that is beating you up, beating you up in the home, harassing you, tying you down, doing those awful toxic things to you. The person that is cheating on you, having different females in their phones, and sleeping around. That's the covert side. They can't have that side exposed, because that's just a side that they just are not trying to let people see. That's the side that people would say they're bad. You're bad. Whatever came from their childhood, whoever their caregivers were or their parents were, they know for some reason they don't want to be considered bad versus a good child. Like, you're bad. Bad children have to be punished. You have to have things taken away. You have to go to the principal office, and they avoid that bad child. They want to be viewed as the good child. So that's why when they drag a lot of their exes through the legal system and different places, they make sure they set up situations, because these judges are the principal in the principal office. Hypothetically speaking, they're similar, because they got to make a ruling, and just like principals have to make a decision when disruptive kids do things. So they make sure that exes look bad and they make themselves look good, and they really set up situations. They're good at setting people up, because they know they can see how situations play out where somebody will be bad and they can be good. They can't really self-reflect on their behaviors in a healthy way. They can't really go back and sit here and say that, hey, you know what? I cheated on her. I put my hands on her. A man should never do that to a woman. Let me go ahead and apologize to her and get counseling, because I don't want to do this no more. No, they self-reflect in an unhealthy, toxic way, which means they say, well, hey, she would have listened to me, I wouldn't have had to did this. We wouldn't go here. This is her fault. She thinks she's all smart, and just because we're not together anymore, she thinks, she's this and she's that. She's better than me. I have to punish her. It's that jealousy. Just for a man to be jealous of a woman is very disturbing, because no woman should ever have to deal with a male being jealous of you. Is so toxic and just disturbing to know that a man that you were with is so jealous of you for having a job, jealous of you for actually moving on to somebody that's healthy and actually treating you good, actually loving you and being kind and compassionate to you, to be jealous of you that you're in shape of your body, to be jealous of you for just your beauty. It's just so upsetting. So that fear of abandonment that they have, this is the reason why you're having a problem getting them to leave you alone. Whatever happened in their childhood, again, it's so many things that happen to these narcissists, and a lot of us will never really know what it was, but we know it was really bad for them to have these personality disturbances. Whatever happened to them, they connected themselves to you and latched to you in such a toxic way. It's like you're their mommy, It's like they put themselves into you, project everything bad into you, and set you up into situations because they understand pain, they understand anger, they understand all of these things, and they pulled you into it, and they understand that you understand it now. So if it's like, if you understand it, why would they put you through this in the first place? That's the only way that they can kind of, it's like that's the only way they can kind of find some healing sometimes, when they get you into these situations where you're hurt, where you're upset, where you're angry and you're nervous, because they understand what you feel. That's how they feel all the time, depressed, and when you're there with them, they feel like you're the same as them, even though you're not. You're different from them. You don't go around hurting other people. You don't go around using other people to get what you want, to get ahead in life. They can't leave you alone. They can't do it, because they are using you for that negative fuel, to be a shadow of themselves, to reflect all of their trauma and their issues, and they're using you to trying to cope through you as the negative fuel. I made a video about being a negative supply. So they connected themselves to you in a toxic way. They don't want to let go. They use you for punishment. And their anger is misdirected. It's not, they're emotionally undeveloped as a child, as we all know. So their anger is so misdirected. It's not you. Like, it's never you. I mean, you didn't do anything to deserve all of this treatment, this mistreatment, this stalking, this abuse, this lying, this cheating. It's not you. It's them. Whatever happened to them in their childhood, and they were never properly treated, or they never healed from it, in a healthy way. So they went through life punishing people, and for some reason they use you as the main source of supply for negativity. So the main thing about it is that you would definitely have to be no contact to get a little periods of peace, to collect your sanity, to reflect on everything that they've done. It's just so important to stay away from them. They prefer actually contact with you because it gives them more chances to obviously abuse you and to have fun with you. They prefer direct contact. When they have no contact, they try to find different ways, of indirect ways. They may start the harassment and the stalking because you cut off that contact, and they feel abandoned. They feel like you're not supposed to break this contact with me. Me and you are supposed to be together in the good, the bad, and the ugly. You still belong to me. You're mine, So that you may start getting letters in the mail, or anything that they can do. Start showing up near your job or somewhere they shouldn't be. And it's just kind of weird. Weird things start happening when you and your narcissists are not together. Weird things start happening. Bad things start happening. They are places that they shouldn't be, that they have no interest in being at. They are, all of a sudden, if they were never involved in your child's life in different ways, all of a sudden they want to come to the doctor's appointments. This is because they're using you for negative fuel. That they've attached themselves to you. That's how they feel that they are able to deal with their issues, is through you, which is not the way. The way to deal with it is to get some therapy. Perhaps you need some medicine or, something, and to open up and talk about who did what to you, what family member did this to you, and confront that person in a way. Confront those issues, forgive, so you can love again and heal yourself. But they don't know how to do that. So they go through life punishing. Now they do have so many other sources of supply because they always scared. They don't know if they're not sure how the supply source is going to run for you. So when you have no contact against them, they're using another source for contact. And yeah, they punish and abuse everybody, but it just depends because every person is different. They may not be physically abusive to the next person because maybe they realize they don't really want to go to jail, and they're just trying to keep their self together because they don't want to go to jail, or they don't want to be out on the streets, so they try to keep it together. But if there's a narcissistic injury caused, then they will lose their control because they have misdirected anger, and they can't regulate their emotions really. So if someone finds out how they are and exposes them, or punishes them for doing what they did wrong, by way of the legal system, they go off and lose it. So when will the malignant narcissist stop trying to destroy you? In my case, I have been to court for over the last 10 years of my life because a malignant narcissist is using me for the negative fuel, is lying on me, lying on family members, just a really toxic, disturbed person that hasn't dealt with their issues. So if it's been 10 years of the drama, of the chaos, I have to question, will this ever stop? Will this ever end? It is because it's a child involved, so it's a dynamic that makes them, attach themselves to me in that way. But we still don't, the way things are, you still don't have to have that type of contact with them. even though a child is involved, because you're supposed to do your part and they're supposed to do their part, but they find a way to lie and make a different reality, paint a different picture, you know, in a toxic way, because they are still trying to punish you for getting out, for leaving, or whatever the case is, and not giving, letting them back in, and so they can continue their abuse. So they are trying to control you by way, through the children and things of that nature. So when will they leave you alone? I would say they would never stop being toxic. Even when your kids are grown, they would try to find a way to show up a place that maybe you're going to go to your kids' graduation from college, or their wedding. The narcissist will show up just to get that feel from you. They still try to tell people that you're crazy and put everything off on you from their childhood. They I don't really know why they pick you to exact their punishment and their revenge on, because they have so many other supplies. But the person that they feel connected to the most, I could say they just use that person to punish, and it's just a bad thing. But I would say in death, but you still have to be healing from all the toxic things that they did from you. So it's like they took a piece of you, took a piece of your life from you, from a lot of your time and a lot of your energy, or unless they went to prison. But I'm pretty sure they would still find some type of way to harass you from prison. Being with, malignant narcissists, you really got to be careful out here, even in the communities, because they always finding a way to stalk you or get somebody else to do it, a flying monkey, to do their dirty work, somebody who just doesn't understand, who's not healthy themselves. And they don't understand that it's wrong to lie for somebody. It's wrong, and how wrong it is to stalk somebody for somebody, or to do somebody's dirty work, to bully somebody just because they're so toxic themselves. They may not be a narcissist, they may not be out here doing what narcissists do on a daily basis, but they're toxic enough where the narcissist knows this, and they're use these people that are not healthy in their own ways to get to you. So you got to be careful. I've been stopped at work, going to work, have gotten letters in the mail, even in a new community that I'm in, and with my new family. What would the narcissist be doing over here? They really don't understand boundaries, and it's just important to understand that they may not ever stop trying to destroy you, but you can still live, because if they want to be in that covert, go into the overt mode, which is where they're so mad and they want to, get crazy in public, then, the way things are now, there's a lot of cameras, and, you definitely got more of an advantage today, in today's time, but more than likely they will stay in covert mode, because they don't want to be detected. They don't want to be told that they have issues, because they never faced them. They don't want to deal with it, so they're going to project all of that stuff onto the person that they have targeted. So I would say, when will the malignant narcissist stop trying to destroy you? In death, or in prison, they would be limited, but I would say they would still harass you continuously. So I am so sorry that, if you guys are listening to this, I'm pretty sure you're going through this. I'm so sorry, but I know that you can still live if you stay strong and stick to your guns about no contact. And if you have to have contact for sake of the children, you have to be very strategic and careful and understand the laws and so many different things, because these individuals are truly disturbed and, disordered. So that's what I have to say about this video, guys. Tell me what you think, and don't forget to subscribe, guys, and comment below, and I will talk to you guys later.